Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Karen Marsdale, and I'm the President and CEO at the Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And with me is, again, one of our great members, and it's really someone who doesn't need an introduction because I think most people know this gentleman. And whether you've seen his trucks on the road, whether you've known him from a myriad of different ways, Denny Laura is with us today. So Denny, welcome, and thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. Happy you asked me. Happy to be here.
Well, you've got such a great story. I mean, on a couple of different levels, and I know we've only got about 10 to 12 minutes, so we're going to try to really put as much as we can into this time that we have together, because you're really kind of one of those folks that I always look at as, you know what, this is really what makes this country a great country. We have folks who really want to get out there every day. You had a dream. You made that dream into something that was a business that was very successful and is successful to this day. But, you know, one of the things as I read this article, we talk so much at the Chamber about the fact that everywhere we go, whether we're talking to a manufacturer, whether we're talking to someone in the trades, whether we're talking to professional services, bankers, accountants, whatever, they're always looking for good people. And one of the biggest challenges I think that we know is a global challenge and very much a challenge in this country today, is that we don't have enough skilled employees for the employers of today and of tomorrow. And you talk about that, you know, very early on in the article that we did on you in our Commerce Quarterly magazine about your philosophy and belief that not everybody has to go to college, but everybody really does have to have a plan.
Oh, that's exactly right. You don't have to go to college, but you do have to have a plan. And one thing I want to say is, I had fun doing it.
Yeah,
you know, it was fun, and we always try to make it fun. And you know, when it's not fun anymore, then you have to think like, what do I really want to do? Sure.
But you had fun, but you worked very hard.
Of course.
But when was the time when you thought, as an electrician, so you went and you got your master's license,
right?
And you're working, and I know, you know, electricians, plumbers. My father was a welding contractor. He was also an entrepreneur and had his own business. But when was the time when you thought, tell us about that, when you thought, maybe I ought to work for myself?
I think I always thought that getting out of high school. You know, my father was always self-employed, and so, you know, his think process was, if you're going to work as hard as I think you're going to work, why not do it for yourself?
Okay.
And
yep.
You know, the satisfaction, everybody thinks the satisfaction comes from making money, but really the satisfaction comes from the amount of people that work for you at a certain point. And you wake up and you think, like, this probably isn't going real well right now, but the satisfaction is I'm feeding 25 or 50 families in Berks County.
Sure.
And that's just a really, really good feeling.
And I think that, you know, I've heard that so frequently from folks like you that really get the satisfaction from being really what this country was blessed to have, which was the opportunity for folks to think about a dream and then make that dream a reality.
And then realize that dreams do come true. You know, sometimes I think that, and I feel so blessed in so many ways, and I really mean that. For a kid, you know, a country kid from Moton with a high school education, had a very, very interesting life. You know, it wasn't only the Denny's Electric, it was that at some point, 10 of us got together as organizing partners, and we raised $7 million, and we opened Berkshire Bank, and I was a bank board director. And
that's right.
I never imagined that I would have an opportunity like that or be involved in it, and it was just a tremendous education.
Yeah, it just is. But now, what have you found through the years? Because I know we often talk about this in discussions about, you know, how does a small business owner, my father, an example, you know, was self-employed, but when do you take that step where you really you're the entrepreneur, and now you need to learn more about running the business and the craft that you have and the skills you have?
Yeah, Very interesting, because we always said there's businessmen or business people, I guess I have to say now. There's
Don't worry, I'm not insulted.
There's business people, and then there's people in business, and there's a big difference. And it's a huge.
That's a great one.
It's a huge transition to go from I want to be an electrical contractor to be a businessman. And most people that are in the trades, they really love the trade, and that's why they started the business. And then the business part of it, you learn, and some of it you learn through making mistakes.
Absolutely, you have to make mistakes.
But the success comes from reaching out to the right people. You know, there's business planners, advisors, accountants, all people who are very willing to take you down the right path. A lot of small businesses fail because they just refuse to listen to their banker, or they refuse to listen to their accountant.
Absolutely.
And they think because they work hard, it's their money and they can do whatever they want with it. And now we often used to talk about the roofers years ago. They put a roof on and make $300, and tomorrow they had to go back to work because they didn't have any of the $300 left. You know, so it's how do you invest in the future, and you know, are you self-motivated and self-disciplined enough? You know, if someone comes to me and says, I want to be a plumber and I want to start my own business, what do I need to know? And I always go right to, are you self-disciplined and are you self-motivated? Because if you're not, you won't make it no matter how smart you are.
Right, exactly.
And then I think the big thing that people discount are people skills. You can be like incredibly brilliant, but if you don't have any people skills, you're not, like, you go out and you turn a customer off, you're not getting in their house.
Right.
You know, and if the guy's wife doesn't like you, then you're certainly not getting in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, that's so true. It's a combination of all those things that kind of make the magic sauce happen. And you have to wake up, and I'm sure, you know, through the career you've had, and you know, this stellar business, that you've had times when, wow, you know, this is really tough. And I see it so often. For 20 years that I've worked at the chamber, I'm always so proud to be able to meet people like you, who every day got up and said, you know what, even though this has been a bad day or a bad week or even a bad year, I'm going to keep going and keep going because of whatever the reason is. You're growing a business, other people are relying on you, you know, whatever it is that motivates you is really beyond what most people are willing to do.
Yeah, and you know, the thing that I've heard for so long is, oh, you're in Berks County, that's really a tough place to make a living. And that's just absolutely not true. Berks County is wonderful. If you can do what you say you're going to do, you're honest, you own up to your mistakes, you say, hey, we didn't handle that right, it's a great place to work, because people in Berks County talk, and they talk when you're good, okay? And so that word gets around, and it's just like you have all these customers because you have this marketing group of people that just keep talking good about you.
Well, and you know, and you're absolutely right, and that's why it's. I always think it's a small community, and you want to do the right thing because you don't want somebody to ever think, and you have to be a person of integrity. I mean, that's the bottom line in business. Now, I want to talk quickly too about the fact that you're also known for some other things, and. You know, that's
fun things.
Yes, fun things. And I know we're getting the high sign that we're going to have to wrap up. But you know, we talked a little bit before the segment about, you know, the sort of the giving back. You know, you've been so well known for your work in the philanthropic community and what you do. So tell me what that feels like, and what sort of motivated you to say, you know, was it always in your spirit to, you know?
I think we were taught like that growing up. You know, the value of giving back, and I always felt blessed, so it was easy to give back. And then I realized that I think the more I gave back, the better my life got, and the more the business grew, and the more things I got involved in, the more social circles there was, and you know, it's the chamber and then all those charities. And now I know you're going to the Berks County Parrot Head Club, which is near and dear to my heart.
Right.
We're going to reach $600,000 in contributions that we gave to local Berks County charities, and it all stayed in Berks County. So it's been like very, very good, and that created all these other social circles which just kept building on the success. And you know, Jimmy Buffett's theory is party with a purpose. So we have fun with every event we do, and that's why I got involved in Crime Alert, and we've given over $100,000 to Crime Alert.
Yeah, great organization. Another great organization that we're going to
Yeah.
be helping to honor Barry
Yeah, so
as he
one of the
retires.
things that I think is the biggest part of my success, or at least the one that I keep going back to, was I wasn't the smartest guy. We were never the cheapest guy. But that involvement in the community and getting involved in different organizations and letting people know you care. You know, we're blessed in this town by some big heavy hitters who give a lot of stuff back and have stuff named after them, and that's all wonderful. And I've worked for most of those guys, and they're all good people. But there's a ton of local, little small business people
Absolutely.
in this community and in the chamber. You see them who just give back whenever asked.
Yeah, that's that. We have a very philanthropic community, and I'm not from here originally, but I saw that very early on, that there was just a sense of community and the purpose of people to you know, make it happen for someone else.
Yeah, when there's a tragedy or something happens that it's catastrophic, you see people come from everywhere, and no one forces them to do that.
Right.
And so we're blessed in a way that we live in this kind of community, and you see Reading looks like it's on its way back, and it's going to be baby steps, and we can't let it fail because it's the heart of our county. And
absolutely. Thank you for saying that. That's another thing that we chant regularly at the chamber, that we have to be, you know, this studio that we're in, this beautiful studio that we're in today, is in the heart of downtown Reading, and it's just a gorgeous building, and we love being here. So it's, you know, I think you're a real testimony, Denny. It's why you're a real icon in the community. And I say that with humility and respect, not anything else. And we just appreciate that that we have the Denny Lauras among us.
Well, thank you. I never thought I was real special. I know I'm blessed.
Well, you made it happen, though.
It's been a great ride, and in my article I say people don't realize that dreams really do come true.
They do.
And they do. And they don't fall out of the sky. Sometimes you have to work for them and pay your dues and put the effort in. But
yeah,
you know,
absolutely
we're blessed that we live in a country that everybody wants to get in and nobody wants to get out.
Exactly. Isn't that the truth? So
it's good. So I'm blessed by the opportunities, and you know, as Jimmy Buffett would say, it's been a lovely cruise.
Oh, it's so true. Well, Denny, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking some time. I'm sure you got a job ahead of you somewhere to do, or some folks to go manage. Yeah. And we didn't even get into the fact that how you had you know, really this wonderfully profitable, great business, and you just made this decision to the way the process came about, that you sold the business to UGI, a great company.
And now I'm in the corporate world, and there was a lot of people who made bets, attorneys, accountants involved in the deal, that I couldn't exist in the corporate world. And
here you are 10 years later.
I am 10 years later. So no one should ever discount the ability to adapt too. If you can adapt to change in situations, then you can always just keep moving forward. So.
Yeah, if we can't adapt to change, we don't really want to be irrelevant. So that's your other option,
right.
We think. So, well, thank you so much, Denny. We could probably talk for another hour, but we appreciate your everything that you've done and everything that you're going to continue to do in this community for the good and the betterment of us.
Yeah,
all.
Thank you. And don't let the chamber give up. Just keep, you know, there's going to be obstacles and stuff, but. You know, we need the chamber just like we need the city to make the county survive. And
absolutely. No, I always say to my staff, if it was easy, everybody would do it, and that's why we're doing it.
Oh, that's a fact. That's absolutely true. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
No, thank you.